You're watching WWAY News at 6.
Tonight on WWAY News at 6, we're just a few days away from formal certification of last week's vote. We have reaction from a few candidates in races where the outcome is still uncertain. Plus, we'll show you some Veterans Day events taking place throughout the Cape Fear to honor those who protected our freedom. And later, the startling discovery a South Carolina woman made in her bathroom. Thanks for joining us tonight for your news at 6. I'm Jeff Rivenbark, and happy Veterans Day. We begin in Columbus County tonight, where police are investigating a deadly crash. The Whiteville Police Department says they were called to a two-car crash on the 1000 block of South Franklin Street just after 6 o'clock Saturday evening. A 2017 Jeep driven by Tanya Norris and a 2009 Dodge driven by Jacqueline Strickland were involved in a head-on collision. Strickland suffered fatal injuries in the crash. The condition of the other driver is unknown at this time. The Whiteville Police Department is conducting an investigation to determine the cause of that crash. In New Hanover County, we're still a few days away from an extra 3,400 ballots being counted, which could potentially impact the County Commission and Board of Education races. Now, several candidates involved in those races are speaking out about the situation. WWA's Connor Doherty joins us live in our studio. Connor, who did you speak with today?
Jeff, I spoke with County Commissioner Dane Scalise, who is currently second in terms of votes received in the commissioner's race. I also spoke with Tim Merrick, who is the second highest vote getter in the New Hanover County Board of Education race. Two New Hanover County races that are too close to call might soon see their results change, as the county's Board of Elections say an estimated 1,500 absentee ballots and 1,900 provisional ballots have remained uncounted since the November 5th election. The board says the ballots won't be counted until this Thursday, just one day before the county holds its canvass to certify the results. In the county commissioner's race, Dane Scalise is second in the number of votes received. He currently has just a 254 vote lead over Stephanie Walker, who is in third place, and a 502 vote lead over fellow county commissioner Jonathan Barfield Jr., who is in fourth place. Scalise says he believes the County Board of Elections has broken state law and that transparency is needed during this process.
So there is confusion over why the New Hanover County Board of Elections has elected not to follow the law that's on the books in North Carolina. That creates concern for anybody who's in this situation, not just me, all of the candidates, as well as the people of New Hanover County who at this time don't know what's going to happen.
New Hanover County Board of Elections Director Ray Hunter Havens sent us a statement that says, in part, quote, "Winners can't always be determined on election night, particularly in close contests, because absentee and provisional ballots must be counted post-election, according to the law." Board of Education candidate Tim Merrick currently sits in second place, but less than 2,000 votes separate him from Nikki Bascom in fifth place. He says the County Board of Elections has done a great job to get through this election season, and he needs more support going forward.
I think what we need to do is remember how important our elections are, how well they have, and how little turmoil we've had. We've had zero evidence of any funny business. Would we have liked those votes to be counted earlier? Of course we would. Let's increase their budget for next year so that doesn't happen.
Both Scalise and Merrick say they will be fine with the results if any changes do occur once the ballots are counted on Thursday. We'll also have the full statement from Ray Hunter Havens on our website at WWAYTV3.com. Jeff?
Thank you, Connor. FEMA has approved new flood zone maps for Pender County, which are scheduled to take effect on January 17th, 2025. The new maps will replace the existing flood maps for several areas of the county, predominantly east of U.S. Highway 421. The new maps will also be used as a tool to help determine the cost of flood insurance for individual property owners. Pender County will be hosting an informational session at the Hampstead Annex tomorrow from 4 to 7 p.m. for members of the public who have questions about the changes. Cape Fear Community College held a Veterans Day ceremony at the college's Union Station in downtown Wilmington today. The ceremony featured speeches from several current CFCC students who are veterans. The famous First World War poem "In Flanders Fields" was read during the ceremony, along with the poem "I Am a Veteran." Army National Guardsman and CFCC student Aman Muhammad says it's special having a day that highlights all veterans no matter what they do following their service.
Whether it's the jobs we choose to do after our service or the experiences in life that we've had before joining, veterans are just very unique individuals, and you don't always get to see that when you see a uniform. So there's always a story to be told behind every soldier and every service person.
The ceremony also featured several students being awarded with scholarships from the Southeast North Carolina chapter of the Military Officers of America Association. The Veterans Memorial Park of America in Whiteville hosted a lunch for veterans, but they also broke ground on a project to honor veterans. They will begin building the Veterans Community Outreach Center in Whiteville. This will be a place for veterans to go and get any help they need, including help filing claims and with any travel. They can also go to the Outreach Center for fellowship and reunions. And there are a number of deals for veterans happening this evening. Veterans and active military service members can go to any Great Clip salon for a free haircut or card for a free haircut that can be redeemed during a future visit. Anyone with a valid military ID is invited to Scooter's Coffee to receive a free medium drink. They close at 8 o'clock tonight. Veterans and active duty military will receive 30% off their purchase at Kohl's, and Golden Corral is offering a free meal for current U.S. service members, retired military, and veterans for a free meal this evening. We have more details on our website at wwaytv3.com. And tonight we're asking, what activity do you typically do to honor, remember our military men and women on Veterans Day? 48% of you say send a card or a video to a veteran. 8% say go to a parade or event. 39% say they thank a veteran. 5% say donate to a veteran community organization. We'd like to say thanks to everyone who's voted so far. If you would like to vote, just scan the QR code on the top of your screen or head to our website. Ahead on your news at 6, we'll give you the latest on this man accused of staging a murder as a bear attack, who's been on the run for weeks.
And we might see some colder conditions, especially for your Tuesday if you're going out to fish tomorrow, but it'll probably be the warmest day of the rest of the week, so you might want to take advantage of it if you can. We're tracking some cooler weather heading our way in the next 7 days. I'll be showing you that and more coming up.
Operation Gridlock, brought to you by East Coast EuroWorks, European Auto Care.
And let's take a look right now and see what's happening in the Waze community. We're not seeing too much traffic right now in Wilmington, just a little bit of heavy traffic there on South College Road at the bottom of your screen near Longleaf Park. Also a bit of traffic on Wrightsville Avenue where it meets with College Road. A little bit further north of the city, some heavy traffic on Randall Parkway at South Carr. Also some light to moderate traffic on Martin Luther King Jr. Parkway as you make your way towards North Carr. Make sure to join Operation Gridlock and the WWAY team on the Waze app. Covering the Carolinas, a 23-year-old college student arrested in connection to a string of shootings along an interstate and highway in Raleigh last week appeared in court on Friday. Chelsea Donovan reports.
Please state your name.
After a 4-day shooting spree, the man police believe evoked terror through the Raleigh community sits behind bars.
This was an absolutely senseless and random series of acts of violence that really put this community on edge.
One woman, according to police, was shot in the leg on I-40 early Monday morning. Another man Thursday was almost struck.
I was just on the way to work on Trailwood and coming up the road and around the bend, and all of a sudden it was like a boom.
In total, police believe an NC State anthropology major was randomly shooting at cars and homes for days until he was found inside this home on Kenford Court and taken into custody.
Inside that vehicle was a .45 caliber firearm belonging to Mr. Graney.
New search warrants reveal police searched Graney's home and his car, and they found a digital camera, a laptop, a handgun with a magazine, a black gun case, live ammunition, and shell casings. Warrants also reveal how police may have found the NC State senior.
Mr. Graney's cell phone was in each and every one of these locations during the time of the offenses. Over this 4-day period.
Defense attorney Daniel Meyer explains the seriousness of these charges, 11 felonies in total.
So in theory, they could give him 880 months.
If convicted.
If you actually hit somebody or killed them while they were driving, they could wipe out a bunch more people.
And Judge Deborah Sasser agreed that Graney is a danger to the public.
This is one of those cases that put fear in the heart of the entire community. I had colleagues texted me, telling me don't go on I-40 today, and I'm sure many other people in the community received that as well.
That was Chelsea Donovan reporting. Gainey's next court appearance is scheduled for Wednesday, November 27th. The suspect who allegedly staged a fake bear attack to cover up a murder is in custody after a 3-week manhunt. Nicholas Wayne Hamlet was taken into custody yesterday in Columbia, South Carolina after being recognized at a hospital. It all started October 18th when a man identifying himself as Brandon Andrade called 911. He pretended to be a distressed hiker who had fallen off a cliff while running from a bear in Monroe County, Tennessee. First responders found a dead body but determined it was not Andrade's body. Instead, his identity had been stolen and used multiple times. It turns out the body was Stephen Douglas Lloyd. Authorities allege Hamlet befriended Lloyd, lured him into the woods, and took his life and identity. Authorities say they have now recovered 25 monkeys that escaped from a research facility in South Carolina. 43 primates escaped the Alpha Genesis Primate Research Center in Yemassee last Wednesday. Police say the monkeys recovered are in good health, but 18 remain on the loose. Authorities say they have not gone far. Staying in South Carolina, a Columbia woman woke to find this slithering surprise behind her toilet last week. Law enforcement was able to trap the ball python and get it into a pillowcase. It's unclear where the snake came from or how it got into the woman's apartment. Officers said they believe it is someone's pet. They've taken the snake in until its owner comes forward or until they help it find a permanent home. From prowling pythons to persistent panthers, coming up on your news at 6, how the Carolina Panthers fared in their overseas matchup with the New York Giants yesterday.
And we're going to be expecting to see a kind of a cooler day coming our way for tomorrow. Still above average, but that won't last for long as we are watching some temperatures into the high 60s, maybe some middle 60s as well as we get into the week. I'll show you your full forecast and what to expect coming up right after the break.
Now, here's meteorologist Jason Corver with your Storm Track 3 forecast.
So after the frontal system will be moving through, we're watching some drier air. You can see that dark orange color, kind of associated with Halloween, but we're seeing it, and really it's associated with Halloween and fall actually, but we're seeing it kind of just fall through into our region, and we're going to be expected to see some dry conditions really across the Cape Fear tomorrow, Wednesday, and parts of Thursday as well. We're watching some rain then, but I'll be showing you what to expect coming up. As we look at the radar, here's this frontal system, and finally this cold front will be drooping down south. It brought some rain, and you can see that rain all the way into really into the Atlantic, but we're still going to be expected to see a pretty dry couple of days or so. Now that the frontal system has gone through and allowing us to get that high pressure system back into our forecast again. Tonight, though, temperatures are going to be dropping down into the upper 50s, staying mostly clear. It's become a quiet night with those winds are around 6 miles an hour, but let's take a look what we can expect really across our region for tomorrow. Temperatures are only reaching up into the lower 70s, seeing 71 degrees in Wilmington, Carolina Beach, seeing 70 degrees, but mostly sunny skies and also some breezy conditions. Gusts up to 18 miles an hour is expected for tomorrow. But as we look in our more southern areas, still into those lower 70s. Calabash, you're seeing 73 degrees. Ben Bolton, you're seeing 71 degrees for tomorrow. So some comfortable conditions are finally heading our way, but we have some even cooler air coming our way later than that after that, actually. So let's take a look at our future cast. So this high pressure system will continue to dominate our weather pattern throughout tomorrow and into Wednesday as well. It'll keep that northerly wind, that cooler wind coming towards our way, but our futurecast actually has us seeing some rain associated with this cold front moving farther down south, but I don't think it's going to be too much rain. I have around a 30% chance of rain for your Thursday. We can fine tune this forecast throughout the rest of this week. This number might go down, this number might go up. It really just depends on how this forecast kind of just plays out. But high temperature trend shows us that we have some above, actually some below average temperatures is expected for the next 7 days or so. Really throughout Wednesday, look at Wednesday, 64 degrees is our high. That's going to be feeling amazing, especially for people who like this cool kind of weather, not this above average kind of weather you might have liked last Friday where we hit 85 degrees. But we have some below average weather really for the next 4 days into Saturday. We're seeing some temperatures starting to peak into mid 70s as we start next week, but still some comfortable and cool air is coming our way finally. And the only rain chance we're going to be looking at is on Thursday, so definitely keep that in mind if you have any plans. Again, this number might go up or or might go down. Really just depends on how much moisture is basically out in front of this next cold front. But right now we're going to be sticking with 30%. As we look at our next 7 days, those temperatures are going to be into those middle 60s. Look at these low temperatures of 43 degrees on Tuesday night into Wednesday morning. So some comfortable air is coming our way, especially for the next 7 days.
Thank you, Jason. Coming up on your news at 6, remembering Bobby Allison, the NASCAR legend and Hall of Famer who died last week here in North Carolina. We're back with sports news. The auto racing world is remembering one of the winningest drivers in NASCAR history. Hall of Famer Bobby Allison has died. NASCAR released a statement on Saturday confirming Allison's death. The statement said the 86-year-old died peacefully at his home in Mooresville. No cause was given for his death. Allison won 85 NASCAR races during his career. That puts him fourth on the all-time list. He won the 1983 NASCAR Championship and the Daytona 500 3 times. Switching now to football, the Carolina Panthers are on a roll, winning back-to-back games after their victory over the New York Giants in Munich, Germany yesterday. The Giants rallied from a 17-7 deficit in the fourth quarter to force overtime. Then in the first possession of overtime, the Giants rookie running back Tyrone Tracy fumbled and the Panthers recovered. That would give the Panthers great field position, which would lead to a 36-yard field goal, putting Carolina up 20-17 and winning them the game. The Panthers are now 3-7, giving them one more win than all of last season. Up next, Jason's back with a last look at your forecast and when temps will turn a bit cooler.